Those are true. Names that are legendary. StockLegends.com.
StockLegends.com here. Today we're looking at ATTD again for November 8th, 2011. A fantastic trade. Congratulations to all the Stock Legends players out there that got in at 0023 on our trade alert on Monday. Could have rode this up 100% to 0046. Fantastic day, explosive volume. I'd love to see stocks like this and everyone making money. We're going to take a look at a short-term and long-term chart. This is the long-term one, the daily chart, and what we're starting to build here is a rising channel coming off the breakout. You can see we had a nice rally here to 0039, came back down and tested the old resistance, which then became a support at 002, and we saw a nice lift right off there. That's where we called the bounce, and we suggested that we were probably going to break past this old high here, and we'd probably see some resistance around 005, which is where our 200-day moving average is. Now we had a high of 0046, closed at 004. So in order to get a short-term perspective of where we're going, you can see we'll look at the other chart, but currently the upward trend does remain positive. We are getting very close to what we would call the top of the rising channel. You can see we've taken a blue line and draw it along our low points, and then what we did is we took a resistance line, tagged it up to our one high point, and we can anticipate the next high point is probably going to come in pretty close to this red line. We could have possibly hit it today. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at the 60-minute chart to get a better perspective on what's happening in the short term. Remember how we used our trick signals to give us that buy and sell signal? Currently a buy, momentum still positive, so even if we do get a pullback here, I would expect that we still have some way to go to the upside. We don't have any really heavy resistance until the 0085 area, which was a long-term support. Very likely it's going to be a resistance again. So looking at the 60-minute chart, this is, each one of these is 60 minutes in trading time, so it's probably a little different than what you're used to looking at. And there's a few things that I want to point out. It's really clear on how these trends move. You can see fairly straight uptrends and fairly straight downtrends, and you can see once it started to lift off this bottom here, this is where we put our breakout alert right here, and you can see the stock had a really nice run all the way up to 0046. So a few things to look at to see where we're sort of sitting at the trend. Is this a good time to look at taking profits, or do I want to hold this? Well, depends on what kind of trader you are. As we looked at the daily chart, the upward trend still remains positive. So if you want to hold, chances are down the road you're going to see higher prices than you see today. Now, if we're looking for a shorter term trade, you may want to consider taking some profits. What happened here in the RSI is we got this overbought signal here. We've got another overbought signal right around here, signaling that the stock is now currently in an overbought position. When we're trading around 30 to 40 on the RSI, that is giving us a signal that the stock's oversold. That's probably where you want to take entries if you're looking as a 1 to 2 day hold. So if we take a look here, something else that's giving us those sort of signals, how we are using the tricks on the daily chart at those crossover points to give us those buy and sell sort of signals where the trends were reversing. We can do the same thing again, but we're going to use it with the it's the slow STO, the slow stochastics. So what we have here right at the STO, right at the top, you notice where the crossover point occurred was right at the height of the first run. Again, you can see that it had been moving down. Once we had that crossover point again, came on right at the bottom. So again, we've got one very clear sell signal, one very clear buy signal, and now what we're looking at here is the STOs crossed over again. This is a momentum indicator suggesting that upward momentum is slowing. So we've got the crossover point that occurred right here. You know what happened? The stock ran up and hit a new high at 0046. So is it giving us perfectly accurate signals? No. But we are seeing a few indicators that we may be seeing a little bit of an overbought position, and we could see a possible pullback. So if we do see that pullback, where is it going to go if we do get that sort of a pullback? What we could look at if we start to connect our low points together, unfortunately I'm unable to draw at this very particular point, but if we took from the 0015 to the 002, probably suggest right around the 0025 could possibly be a low point. If you're sitting at profits here at 0040, you may want to consider locking in some profits. StockLegends.com has some more great trades coming up, and we want to make sure all of our players are making a lot of money, and we want to make sure you guys are making money. So make sure you head over to StockLegends.com and sign up for the email alert system to get ahead of the game and find out when those alerts are coming. Thanks very much, and happy trading.